What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. Now, let me jump right into this because this is the day of the fight. Billy Joe Saunders versus Canelo Alvarez. Now, listen, I just want to give some final thoughts on things leading up to this fight. I don't know if I'm going to do anything else later as far as making videos. I'll see because I got a busy schedule. As soon as I finish this video, I'm about to go get my workout in. Go eat some good food and handle everything else because I'm going to watch this fight when the time comes. Listen, now, people was talking about Billy Joe Saunders wanting the big ring and, he's complaining about this and this and this. Okay, now let me just say this. The A side has always been the fighter to choose what type of gloves you're going to use, the type of ring, referee, all that. You on the B side basically had to just sit there and go either I agree or I don't agree. So either fight's on or fight's off. Understand something. The same way Billy Joe wants a bigger ring, right? Canelo wants a smaller ring. Why? I think that's evident. Canelo doesn't plan on moving, sticking and moving and fighting on the back foot. Canelo wants to walk him down, have an easier time to cut off the ring by giving him less distance to move. We know Canelo is going to try to punish him. I expect him to try to punish him to the body. Mix it up, of course, but punish him to the body because Billy Joe wants to move, and he wants to move often. Billy Joe's not going to stand there and try to bang with Canelo. He's smarter than that. He knows that's not going to help him. He doesn't have the kind of punching power to stand there and try to bang with Canelo. Now, he has enough punching power that if he can box and move and keep that jab pumping, work off the jab, also be responsible on defense and not try to load up and get crazy to the point where he's just throwing and keep Canelo off and, it's not working. He's going to have to be able to connect. He's going to have to be accurate, stick and move, and utilize the size of that ring. Only tie Canelo up when he gets to the point where Canelo rushes in. And for me, I think he should tie him up, spin off him, and move. Don't hold him until the referee comes. Unless it's a situation where you're tired, or you're hurt, or you're actually tired to the point where you need to. If he runs out of gas, that's gonna be disastrous. If he can stick and move and box, give him different looks and angles. He doesn't have to get on his toes and dance the whole fight. He needs to give him angles, move, pivot when he needs to, but stay out of harm's way. I can't sit here and predict how the fight's going to go, but I'm saying looking at what fighters both bring to the table, you got to adjust to what's going on in the ring. And the thing is, when you use lateral movement and you slip and can pivot and throw shots, you keep yourself in range to punch, but you're slipping to get out of the way, body movement, upper body movement, but you're also still in range to punch if he can pull that off. Because, like I said, hand speed wise, before I said in the previous video, I don't really give either guy edge with hand speed. The only advantage, I think he's more technical than Canelo. Okay, he's more technical. He's more technically sound with boxing, and he has better foot movement. He doesn't have more power. His ring IQ, I'm not going to say is higher than Canelo's. It's like he has to do things consistently. They both do. But he has to be more consistent with everything he's doing because we already know Canelo's not going to back up and say, okay, I'm going to make him come to me. Canelo's going to go forward. He's going to try to punish him. Canelo's not going to try to outbox him. He's going to try to knock him out. Billy Joe Saunders may not pack the power to knock Canelo out. You catch a guy right, you can get him out of there. Okay, but it's more likely that Canelo can knock him out than it is for Billy Joe to knock him out. That's the way people are looking at it. That's the way it may be, okay? But we'll see when the fight happens. Another thing you got to understand too, okay? And understand, I'm pretty sure Billy Joe Saunders and his team has considered all of these things. I don't think anybody expects Billy Joe Saunders to win a decision. So if you don't knock Canelo out and it's close, it's going to be a lot of disappointed people before the decision before the decision is even given, because let's be real. We're talking about 70,000 people against the cash cow. You understand what I'm saying? A robbery by no means is acceptable, but it happens all the time. So should Billy Joe win a close decision? Should the fight come, close? Does he win a close decision? That's something yet to be seen. And I believe Billy Joe knows I need a bigger ring so I can work. And I can really outbox this guy. And even if I don't knock him out, the judges can't deny that I completely outbox this guy. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and the thing is, it will help if he can swell his face up, close his eye, do something to really show the damage on his face. Canelo is not an easy fighter to beat. Canelo's going to bring it. Billy Joe's going to bring it. But I expect Billy Joe to box and move. You understand what I'm saying? When if it is times where Canelo's kind of stationary and he can get the shot off first and move, everything is hit and move, hit and move. If he actually buzzes Canelo, he needs to go for the kill. You understand what I'm saying? Not go crazy and punch himself out, but he needs to go for the kill. If Canelo doesn't go down and he's getting his bearing, okay, no problem. We heard him. He's back. Let's get back to boxing. But yes, of course he wanted a bigger ring because he wants to move. Okay, and it's going to give him a better chance to move and display his boxing skills, not to show off, but to actually everything he wants to do can work. Because the smaller the ring, the better chances for Canelo to do what he needs to do. The bigger the ring, the better chances for Billy Joe to do what he has to do. So that's all that comes down to. He was scared, he's bitching, he's trying to make excuses to call the fight off. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff and heard a lot of stuff. At the end of the day, this is the biggest fight for him. And this is the type of fight where if he loses, okay, let's put it like this. Let's say he truthfully wins the fight, but the judges give it to Canelo. There probably won't be a rematch because Canelo wants to collect belts. We get that. But also, and it will be a complete shame for them to do that. But it also puts, Billy Joe in a situation of, man, look, Billy Joe won that fight. All right? He won that fight. There's going to be other big fights they want to put him in. The problem with that, for one, is just the fact it's a robbery if that happens. But two, what starts to happen is, even though you were robbed and everybody agrees with it, on paper it doesn't say that, and now you still have to fight your way up while that champion still goes forward doing what he wants to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. But of course, he wanted a bigger ring so he can move. Canelo wanted a smaller ring to take that movement away. So you have less ground to cover with cutting the ring off. A lot of people think Canelo's going to knock him out. He might. Like I said, Billy Joe has all the tools he needs. It's how he put it together in that ring. It's as simple as that, right? If you have a puzzle, right? You open up a puzzle, you got every piece in there to put the puzzle together. But if you can't figure it out, it's not that the puzzle's wrong. Somebody else come along and go, okay, see, boom, 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 boom. Puzzle's done. You just couldn't figure it out. So that's exactly what I'm saying with Canelo and with Billy Joe versus Canelo. Billy Joe has all the tools. He has what he needs. Everybody that, man, he needs this, he has to have this, he doesn't have this, he has to have this, he has to have this, all of the stuff that they're saying, just like I said, when people talk about the people that they felt like really beat Canelo, the first thing people say is, yeah, but Canelo got better since then. Okay. Just like Billy Joe had some, fights where he didn't look so impressive. He got better since then. So, they both have gotten better. Where we are now is, let's see who the better fighter is between the two. You understand what I'm saying? It's as simple as that. And understand, if Billy Joe pulls this off, there's going to be a lot of people that says he's still not pound for pound, even though he beat what people consider pound for pound. He just had his number or he got lucky. That is going to be that type of thing. So Billy Joe, if he wins, he's not going to take the torch and then it's, it's all about Billy Joe. It's like, nah, now you got to prove you can beat him again. See, and that will cause a rematch is if he wins. It's not like Billy Joe can't punch. He's just not a devastating puncher, okay? I've never seen anybody walk through Billy Joe. So, he has some power. He has respectable power. Let's put it that way. We've seen Canelo. We know he sparred with heavyweights. We've seen him go all the way up to 175. But at the same time, don't be fooled by that. Because why? Remember, Canelo said that his team was saying he don't want to give up too much, disadvantages by staying at 175. So, of course, it doesn't take a heavyweight or a light heavyweight to knock him out. You just got to catch the guy right. But for Billy Joe, he has to box and move and be consistent with it, not get overwhelmed, and just adjust to whatever's going on in the ring. Now, that's easier said than done in most cases when you're talking about elite guys. But if you have the talent and the understanding, the boxing IQ, this is where your understanding of what's going on, how to read what's going on. If he has that, he can and he can get it done. Because Canelo's going to try to come through. He's going to try to take him out. But if Billy Joe is catching him with shots that's making him go, okay, all right. Oh, okay, I didn't see that coming. Oh, okay. It's going to make Canelo either get desperate or Canelo's going to be patient and try to, okay, I'll eventually catch up to him. He's going to try to give him different looks. But at the same time, we've seen Canelo get frustrated. We've seen fights where but he has patience. He has patience. Okay, and Billy Joe Saunders is just going to have to be on top of his game. If Billy Joe Saunders, like I said, I don't care who the critics are. I don't care if you want to call them boxing historians and all this experts. For everybody who's saying Billy Joe has no chance, here's my thing. Ask these same people. I asked the question. If your fighter was Billy Joe Saunders or any other fighter that's going to be a possible opponent for Canelo, would you tell your fighter, hey, truthfully, kid, you don't have a chance, but I'll take the paycheck and train you and watch you get your ass whooped? Or do you look at this is what you're going to have to do to beat Canelo? And are you going to be honest with your fighter and tell him, I don't think you can beat him? Or are you going to do what you have to do to help prepare your fighter so he can win? All right? I think that's a no-brainer for that answer. All right? So at the end of the day, Billy Joe, the time is now. Billy Joe has to go in there and do what he's been thinking and saying he can do all along. We shall see. It's as simple as that. Look, that's all I'm going to say in this video. And I will catch y'all on the next video.